Yeah.
I'll tell you what's Michael, man. Bro, what is my damn? I'm about to say this damn internet already messing up.
For
No, it was just taking extra long.
What up?
Bro, if you can do it,
I know, right?
do it. All right, Stacey in here. I guess we can start.
Oh, hey, Stacy, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Cultivated Ignorance.
You let you
I am Will, the host, along with this guy.
I introduced myself. I am Mike, the favorite host.
You're gonna do the wicked gun every time, aren't you?
Every time.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
trying to formula. We got it worked out.
Yeah, all right, this week we're gonna be talking about everybody's favorite rapper, Jay-Z.
Used to be until this happened.
Straight up, right? Y'all boys turned on my man. We're gonna be talking about Jay-Z's partnership deal with the NFL, how we feel about it, how do we feel since it doesn't seem like Cap's going to be very directly involved. At least he wasn't at the press conference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're also going to be talking about how the media kind of demonizes celebrities. There's been a couple of examples lately. This one right here, how certain people are demonizing Jay for doing the deal. How kind of like Joe Budden demonized Nicki Minaj and
Nicki laid into his ass,
bro, that thing was beautiful. It was a beautiful destruction. And how the sports writers be talking about Antonio Brown like he just ain't shit.
All right,
so
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Antonio get on my damn nerves.
He ain't shit, but still.
They can't say that.
But yeah, man, as always, we're gonna let Mike rock out these church announcements.
Cool, man.
And hopefully he rushes through them.
I'm gonna take my time because I know that's what y'all want me to do. Michelle say caw. Who comes in on the show like that, Michelle? What you doing? But thank you for joining us, Stacy, Joey, Darwin, crazy ass, Tony. Darwin, we need you to come back and help with this camera stuff, man.
Bro, it's been rough with him doing it.
But I'm working it out though. You see, everything looks beautiful, right? You see, Will got his copyright stuff on the screen.
Hey, we just gonna run it until they pull it down.
Okay, that's fine. As long as they don't get sued.
It's just gonna be a big black crop out.
It's gonna be a big blur. That's how we do it. I can do that in After Effects. So church announcements this week. For what day is it? August 21st. First and foremost, tomorrow, if you're in the city of Columbia, South Carolina, there is a trans rally going on tomorrow, held by the Columbia Black Pride Association. It's just basically just telling us, the city, people around us, anybody who thinks otherwise, that bigotry and discrimination against like the LGBTQ plus community will not be accepted by any of us. We at Cultivated Ignorance love all black folk. So anybody if you're black and you're happy, we want you to be black and happy and alive. So we support you doing that. So that's going down at the State House tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. And like I said, just a small rally, just to celebrate black lives of all kinds, of all shapes and sizes, of all backgrounds, all the good stuff. Tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. at the State House. Everybody knows what the State House is. I ain't gonna tell you the address. After that, on Friday, this is actually really, really dope. I don't know if you heard about this. The Nickelodeon, it's the Super Soul Cinema. Presents Soul Brother, which is like a blaxploitation film. Mm-hmm. So Preach Jacobs, y'all know Preach Jacobs, he's very popular out here, is doing this whole blaxploitation film series at the
Hey Preach, when you gonna be on the show?
Yeah, when you go on the show, man.
Hey Preach.
I need to tag him in this one part.
You right here, that could be you.
What's the timestamp? I'm gonna tag him in the 4:30. Preach is like a local DJ, rapper, show host, one-man show killer. Like he does his thing. He's doing this whole blaxploitation film series at the Nickelodeon. It's gonna be super dope. It's gonna have DJ sets and just talks about the blaxploitation era. What influenced it, who were the biggest parts of that movement. all that good stuff. Like I said, that's going on at Nickelodeon Friday, August 23rd at 9 p.m. I know it's kind of late, but y'all ain't doing nothing. Go out there.
How you know they live?
Because y'all artists. Y'all ain't, all the artists in the room anyway, they ain't got no job, so they just looking at us through the window. I finally got my back facing the window, so I ain't got to see the creepos like Will does. So yeah, that's that. Saturday, August 24th at 7 p.m. for my Georgia peoples. It is the Speakeasy poetry event featuring Most Elevated Deepness, a good friend of mine. She is awesome. She's actually featured in my show before. She's incredible. That show is hosted by my good friend Khalil Ali at the Book Tavern, which is located at 936 Broad Street, 101 Augusta, Georgia, 30901. That's why all my Georgia peeps, if you like poetry, you like good, vibes and everything, they goes in, they do their thing. So, like I said, August 24th, 7 p.m., Speakeasy, featuring Most Elevated Deepness in Augusta, Georgia. Check it out.
Word. So, as you can see, we got this playing in the background. If you didn't know, Rock Nation and the NFL have agreed to a partnership for, what do they call it? It's for hosting music events, community events, things like that.
As well as social justice.
Yeah, social justice stuff.
Very non-specific.
Yeah. Says with this global reach, the National Football League has the platform opportunity to inspire change across the country. Carter said in the press release, Rock Nation has shown that entertainment and enacting change are not mutually exclusive ideas. Instead, we unify them. This partnership is an opportunity to strengthen the fabric of communities across America.
Very broad.
It's just kind of overarching. We're going to do good things.
Right. Crazy.
How you feel about it, man? You think it's going to be a good thing? First off,
I feel like more than anything, number one, Jay has shown that he has done a ton of like social justice work just in the background. Him and Beyonce.
Yeah.
Between like just funding getting Ferguson protesters out of jail, to funding the whole Trayvon Martin documentary series, to all the other stuff they've done.
He also did Khalif Browder.
Yeah, the young man that actually committed suicide, didn't he?
Yep. He was in records all the time.
It's crazy, but he's done like a ton of stuff. And though this looks like a pure business move, like more than anything, we can just wait and see how it works out. Like I think it's gonna be good things because I just got found out that he's gonna be having major ownership in the team, right?
I didn't know if that was a rumor, or if that was true. Or...
No, that shit was true, from what I read.
Which facts that?
It was on. First of all, I saw it on TNT Sports, but like
okay,
but like I saw it on other places too. It looks like it's true.
TMZ was the same website that said Bush was built out like 4 times in one day.
They also said like, what's the name? Prodigy died by like eating eggs or some shit.
Bro, yeah, like come on, man, like you can't.
There was another source I saw though. There's another source.
TMZ's Wikipedia for.
But no. But more than anything, it just seems like I know from Jay's history, man, and just him just like taking advantage of this opportunity to own a stake, in the NFL. I feel like it can be a great thing. Could we be wrong? Maybe, but like we can always just wait and see. Like I don't see any problems with just like speculating right now, without coming to the conclusion that he's cooning, or just out with money, or he doesn't care about cap anymore, or he was using cap.
What if it is just business for Jay? How would that make you feel?
If he just took advantage of like Cap's like whole movement just for like a business opportunity, I would be a little upset.
Is it fully taking advantage of Cap's like what? How did you say it?
What Cap's movement? None of this would be happening if Cap didn't do what he did though.
What if it actually inspires change? You know what I mean? But it is just purely a business move. Like maybe Jay-Z just said, "I see money in this." Mm-hmm. Is that Khalif?
It looked like.
Anyways, what if Jay-Z just purely was in it for the money? Like, you know what I mean? How would that make you feel? Like, even if it could inspire change down the rood, what if you just saw Jay-Z have an opportunity?
Saying if it still created the change that they claim that they want to make, then then I'm with it. I think I
have a problem with people demonizing Jay for not necessarily demonizing, but talking down on this whole move or whatever. just because they feel like it's purely a money move. I mean, as long as it achieves the so-called, goal,
Right.
I don't see the problem. I don't think you lose all credibility for making a business move. I don't think him doing this necessarily shits on Cap in any kind of way.
No, I agree. I guess playing their side is like if it is pure money, even if it does affect something, if it's just for pure money, like he's not gonna uphold the change that it does create. I guess like if the change were temporary, he would not take it upon himself to like, oh no, we fucking up, we need to fix it. You know what I'm saying? He would just keep it moving because he done got his part, so he would just go on to the next venture. I guess that's what people would be upset about is that the change wouldn't be sustained if Jay was only in it for the money.
Uh,
I think that's what people would assume.
Yeah, that's what people would assume, but like, how is that fair? Like, this is no different than, like, let's say if the NFL hired like a white marketing company to do the same thing.
Right.
Will we be all over them like this too? I don't feel like we would, because I guess that's maybe something we expect or whatever.
I think if the whole cap situation that happened and then the NFL hired a white company to fix it, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like if they hired a white company to do this exact same thing and there was no face of it, we'd be like, oh man, it's not real.
I think so. I think they would just think that the NFL is capping.
I don't think niggas think that deeply. I think niggas be hating on success and the way people move, especially Jay-Z, because they all, for whatever reason, Jay-Z's always been this figure that can be like attacked, whether he's in the Illuminati or whatever.
First hip hop billionaire, like the more attention you get, the more people just find something to just be angry about. But go ahead with your point.
I was listening to Van Lathan, and he was saying that other races don't really have this problem. To where we,
I don't agree.
You don't think so?
White people criticize white people all the time. White people it might not seem as serious because we just don't care about what they got going on and we're not involved directly.
I think it was Van Lathan. Don't misquote me, but it was somebody that said it. Pretty sure it was Van.
Literally, white people go in on other white celebrities all the time.
But for doing, I feel like black people always try and find the hidden agenda of another black person.
I guess what I'm saying is, yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like there's this whole crabs in the barrel mentality when it comes to us.
Mm-hmm.
But for them, it just looks differently. Like, for example, like if a white celebrity does something super good for like straight people, I guess, there's something that appears that it would only affect straight people mostly. There's always going to be that like LGBTQ crowd is just like, what about us? They didn't say that person's never done anything specifically for us, so they're not for us. And so
Leonardo DiCaprio does all this environmental work. Like he's known for his environmental work.
Right.
You think there's white people out there like, oh, this motherfucker up to some shit?
It depends on the celebrity, but like I think it's always there's always going to be a group that just finds a way to undermine something good that you're doing.
Do you feel like that group, percentage-wise, is larger for black people than white people?
I think I don't know what the percent is, but I think it's more severe for us because we don't own as much. And so anytime we're doing something big, it affects us more that more of us are quick to criticize that person is doing something big. And you can even see that in like our smaller circles. Like when you just have like your local artists just trying to blow up and just doing what they got to do to blow up. And their friends feel like they ain't taking them with them, so they're being fake. And so they do their best to tear them down or discourage them or just not support them. And, as an artist, you need every bit of support from yourself and others around you as much as you can get.
Yeah.
So it's just more severe because that's one less, black artist that's going to make it. So I think it affects us more, but I don't know about if it's a bigger percentage of.
I was trying to find Jay's post. Jay, the guest we had on last episode.
Oh yeah, I think Jay was in here. I hope he's in here.
Yeah, he had. Oh yeah. He said. Let me just slide this over here.
Excuse me. Show me fingers.
Said, don't know who you support, believe in this, but it's quickly become a media nightmare for Jay. I'm just watching and listening. Also remember two things. Cap took a check too, and we never know exactly how much he kneeled after all that kneeling. Said one thing for sure, two things for certain. A lot of us have forgotten that Jay is at heart an entrepreneur and an entertainer. The mental social justice champion might be premature. I also said let's give the move some time before banning the man. He will be in total creative control of currently the most valuable block of television in the world.
Right.
I definitely agree with we need to give it some time because I don't know what our obsession is with reacting immediately.
Like we gotta have. I saw somebody had a whole 10-page tweet of like how detrimental this is to the movement that Cap started.
Is it?
Like it was some famous woman, I can't remember her name. This whole like synopsis, all after, and this is like maybe like an hour after news broke. She came up with this whole shit. It was like, how did you even? We don't even have all the information yet. How do you have all this information to come up with this conclusion yet?
Imagine the LGBTQ community if Michael Sam was released rocking a pride flag during the anthem. Then Ellen tells other gay rights celebs not to do a halftime show because of the NFL. Ignore Michael Sam and injustice in their community. Then Ellen accepts a deal to do shows with the NFL without inviting Michael Sam to the table. I guess.
I
guess. It's a stretch for sure.
Only thing I don't like about that is a lot of people act like the LGBTQ community doesn't include black people. So when they reference like white people, the first thing they go to is like the whole gay thing.
Yeah.
And it's like we're in that community too.
So what?
I don't know. I just don't know the point a lot of times. I just don't know the point. What are you about to say?
So what do you think it says about this that Cap isn't there at the press conference anyway?
You tell me what you think. But like, first of all, we don't know if Cap is even allowed to do anything involved with the NFL, like, period, correct? Because since that settlement.
Well, yeah, there was a settlement. I don't think it disqualified him from working. Mm-hmm. I don't know for a fact, but,
That's the thing we don't know, right?
It could be, yeah. I mean, I'm sure he signed a non-disclosure agreement.
Right. So we don't even know if he's allowed to be even a part of anything like this in the first place. I would say the main thing that does seem sketch is that...
on a side note, if he wasn't allowed to be doing anything in the NFL, why would he still be like on Instagram, be telling people, I'm ready to work whenever an NFL team is signing me? Like, wouldn't that just be like adding like fuel to the NFL's like hate fire?
Well, I don't know if it's like he can't be involved in anything like this, but he can still play. If somebody would pick him up as a team, he can still play football and just play football. And that's part of the settlement. If he's fucked up, he'd be like, yo, just shut up and play football.
Shut up and play football, you will stand.
You will stand. You got to the point across. Yeah. That could be it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know the full details. I was going to say the one thing that does feel sketch is that Jay said he had a convo with Cap and that he's just not going to be involved with it. But Nessa was just like, nah, the niggas didn't talk at all. And then Jamila Hill was like, they did talk and it didn't go well. So it was like, somebody lying.
I'm probably gonna believe Jamila Hill. You probably believe she got the muddiest story out of all of them.
Yeah.
That's probably the way it went.
What do you think, man?
I don't know, man. I like to believe Jay actually talked to. I like to believe. Let me say it just like that. Right. I like to believe Jay really talked to Cap.
Right.
But even still, I don't think it undermines Cap's movement, even if he's not involved.
That's the main question: is that does it really undermine it? Like, first of all, us having a conversation in the first place, wasn't that the whole point of the movement in the first place?
That's the whole point, but I guess niggas just want him to keep kneeling.
But so do you think Jay has a point in that the mission was accomplished by Cap? Now we're taking action steps, or other action steps, because people trying to misappropriate his words when he was trying to make it like Jay was saying that Cap didn't do any action steps. Jay was just like, he did one action, we doing a different action.
I think there is progression in the actions that you do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, like the civil rights movement, legislature had to be passed at some point. You know what I mean?
That's true.
For the marches to mean anything.
Got you. So when you determine the end of one action, like, because I feel like you can almost say like Cap's action is complete. Like we having a conversation, it's still being had 3 years later.
I don't know when you would say Cap's action is complete because there's still police brutality.
But I thought the process was to bring attention to it and start a dialogue.
Yeah, but if the dialogue is only going on in our community and not within the police departments themselves, then what difference does it make?
Well, I think it is happening.
I think there's been real reform across.
I don't know about reform. I'm talking about the dialogue that's been happening. Like,
I don't know if I believe that that police are acting any differently in the line of duty towards black and brown people since Cap started his movement. I don't know if I believe that. I feel like the only thing I will say is police are in fear of being caught on video or whatever. But I still think the blue wall very much exists.
But is that fair, like progress in your eyes? Like, is that?
No, not to me.
If they feel like they know that they can't just get away with just doing anything they want anymore, how is that not progress?
Because it's still cops that shut off their body cams. For whatever reason, it's still okay to like shoot somebody and my body cam wasn't on for some strange reason. You know what I mean? Like.
So, but do you think with the transparency of like social media and everything makes more stuff like that more like suspicious to the public eye and leads to more investigation?
To be honest, on one half, I like social media, like things being more visible. But some people just be out here sounding stupid.
Yeah, people,
you know what I mean? So but I think it's better, but I don't think the work is done. I don't think the work is in a place where it needs to be. I think cops are still, like, in essence, like the hard thing about, Cap's movement is like you got people who aren't of a certain race policing people who are of a certain race, certain economic situation. They can't relate to the people who they're policing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was the main thing we were talking about at the center, was getting back to community. Like, it used to be cops will literally stay in the community, live in the community, and live amongst the people and get to know the people. And we actually talked about this when we had a meeting with Richland County. It was like, when you go from being like a white cop to like, say you was assigned to some white suburban area, whatever that, and you suddenly get thrown into some urban to you hood-looking place where you're already nervous. You don't associate with black people. You're already nervous. You're already on edge. And you're just thrown into that. That's a whole disconnect right there.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. And you just can't relate to the people around you, like, if you don't understand the people or know the people that you're policing, you're gonna have issues policing them,
right?
Because you're gonna be more fearful,
right?
Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Y'all speak the same language or nothing?
Yeah. So as far as that, man, like, I think that gap still exists. Therefore, I don't think much progress has been made in Cap's movement. So if I had to say, then I guess Cap should keep kneeling or whatever. I don't think his action is quite done. But I still think that there needs to be progress made towards the next action. Like, I can't agree with Jay when he said Cap's thing is done. That conversation still needs to be had. But to say that we don't need to move on to the next thing at the same time, one doesn't have to run its course before the other begins.
Right.
I
wanted to read Darwin had a point here. It said, Jay, I say do it no matter, even if it's just business. I also hope he buys 2 teams, one called the Chicago Blacknecks and the other called the New York Coonies. I didn't read this before I started reading it just now.
You could have stopped at, you should do it at business or something like that.
The third one called the Houston Roofers. Now he might lose money on those teams, but Trump is president, so why not? Thanks, Darwin, for your always insightful input. Always insightful. I feel what you're saying. I think The only thing with Cap's movement, I'm glad he did it, but it was like, did he truly expect? What did he expect the NFL to do in regards to his protest? Did he just expect them to just allow him to keep protesting on the field, and and then just not be punished for it? Is that the whole?
Me boy Donald Trump muddied the whole kneeling thing up.
Right.
That nigga's good.
Bro,
that nigga's good.
It's insane, like how.
I mean, because he just diminished that whole thing, like he made it seem like he
made it about the anthem and everything.
Yeah.
And so you take that, you take the whole. I don't know if y'all familiar with how like echo chambers like kind of work, when you just surround yourself with only people that agree with you.
Yeah.
People be afraid to have their own opinion sometimes. It's at the internet. It's two things. It's either like you're afraid to have your own opinion, or you got your own opinion. You just jump out the window.
Then you get mobbed.
But no, you jump out the window with some shit you don't know about that you don't actually understand. And you just say whatever. There's no repercussions of being wrong on the internet.
Oh, okay,
You
yeah.
say whatever you want, and then get a bunch of likes and shit because the shit sounds right. And like,
yeah.
This shit is. But I didn't actually. When you say you do agree with what Jay's doing, you don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it, even if it's for just money, as long as progress is being made. And I'm not really here for it to clean up the NFL's image. If that's the case,
no, it's definitely.
I know that's part of it. I know that's part of it, definitely. But if it does inspire change in communities and things like that, then I'm all for it.
So what's the allotted timetable to be like?
Okay, see, another thing. Roger Goodell was a very smart man about this. Because we don't have a lockout in 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I think, at the beginning of next season, there's likely a lockout or something like that.
Really?
So I don't know, and they're not, and Rock Nation is not a part of the NFL's planning stuff this year, I don't believe.
Oh, okay.
I think it starts next year. So there's like a limited window for GZ Net. I don't care about that.
I'm going to play that Little Brother album, baby. That shit lit.
Oh, is it really?
It's amazing, yes.
Let me just start the show. What was I say? I don't remember what I was saying.
You were talking about the lockout and so.
Oh yeah, it's there's gonna be a lockout soon, so I don't know how much. It's like the movement. If there is a movement and there is like a kind of thing they do, it's gonna be broken up, I believe, due to the lockout. So I thought that was kind of coincidental.
Oh, he got advisors and said, "Hey, Robson, come in, man. Let me talk to you."
Yeah.
I will say one thing I don't like, and I think was part of the people getting in on Jay right now is coming from people making it out like, he refused to perform at the Super Bowl. People were like, "Oh, he protested at the Super Bowl for the social justice thing, but now he's trying to partner with the NFL."
Did he ever say why he protested?
The only reason he didn't perform,
the only reason why,
and the reason he told Travis Scott not to perform is because he felt like they were being like kind of sidebarred along with Maroon 5.
Jay-Z's supposed to be a side act?
Yeah, that's what he felt like.
Oh, fuck, bro.
That's what he felt like. And he told Travis Scott, like, nigga, your album is the biggest shit for that year.
Yeah.
Your album is the most popular shit. Why are you on stage with a giant M? That shit makes no sense. That's the only reason he didn't perform. And the reason he told Rihanna not to perform.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Did Rihanna refuse to?
Yeah, because, well,
I didn't know she.
Yeah, she did refuse, though.
Oh, shit.
And people were just making it out like, huh?
Then they got pulled.
But he done. That's the only reason he didn't perform. It wasn't nothing to do with social justice, nothing like that. It's just because he felt like he wasn't being like if I'm Jay-Z, like I want to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
And you're gonna pay me that center of attention. So people making it out like imagine Jay-Z.
I wish Adam Levine would get in my damn way.
Right. Y'all comment. Y'all comment whatever y'all think, man. Darwin over here comment more, so I'm scared to read it. But y'all tell us what y'all think. If y'all agree with it, disagree with it. Yeah, I mean, I think, like you said, there's absolute power in just literally just spectating and seeing what's going to happen. Like, we can ask questions.
Yeah.
We can see. I did that shit with when Steve Harvey aligned himself with Donald Trump. Remember this shit? When he was at this whole thing with Trump. And he was like, they're gonna create change and all this stuff like that. And I was like, all right, we gonna see, nigga. Absolutely nothing happened out of that.
So is Steve Harvey not a bad guy?
I think people just forgot, bro. Like,
See, that's my thing. Like, that's my thing. Like when Steve Harvey, what was it? Ray Lewis, Jim Brown, like Kanye. I can't. Kanye.
Niggas been getting on Ray Lewis too, though.
We're not going to include Kanye. Okay, whatever. Ray Lewis, whatever.
Mm.
First off, there's no crime for these niggas to be Republican. That shit does not mean your black card is gone.
Obviously it does.
Second, these niggas could have had well intentions
Right.
of doing something good, and Donald Trump either pooped on it in the meeting or never followed up with it after the meeting,
Right.
or it's still be in the works.
But it's that thing where you can look from the outside in, and it's like people do this all the time in real life and day-to-day situations. Like, why would you ever trust them? You have no reason to trust him. He did this, he did that.
It's not that I trust them necessarily. It's that I'm trying to make change. This nigga's the most powerful person in America.
Right. And we're not vouching for aligning yourself with Donald Trump by any means, but it's like, if you get the chance to align yourself with the most...
When you want to get some shit done, that's the nigga to talk to.
Trump's been that nigga for quite a while to get shit done.
Yeah, like
what
the fuck are we talking about?
It's just, like I said, there's no consequence, bro. You can literally just jump on the internet and just be like, you fucking up. Like, I ain't gonna tell you how you fucking up. I don't know none of the extra details or what you exactly planning.
But I know you met up with Trump though.
Right. It's wild, man. And that's not something that's going to end. I think.
So now Jay-Z ain't shit because he met up with Roger Goodell.
What's I can tell people, man? It depends on who you asking. If you're talking to logical people, you can have a logical conversation. If you're talking to react first,
I say we throw the whole discography out right now.
Throw the whole Jay-Z discography out.
Blueprint, American Gangster, 444, Reasonable Doubt.
You fucked up with American Gangster. I'm almost none of the other stuff. Let's throw out in my lifetime. Let's just throw that out.
Which one?
The volume
the volume 2? Ain't that
volume 1? No,
volume 1?
No, volume 2 is his second album, right?
No.
I thought he just called it like volume 2.
No, you're wrong. I think you're
I'm probably wrong, but
we sidebar real bad.
we are.
Yeah, man. So you think? What'd you say about Cap? Did you say you think he need to be involved, or?
I would love him to be involved, but like I don't require it. Like for all we know, like I said, Cap could maybe not want to be involved with it. Maybe he doesn't think it's a good move.
Oh yeah, that's not volume 1.
Yeah,
Hard Knock Life is volume 2.
That's
I'm sorry.
See, good job.
And like, shut your bitch ass up.
You thought that shit out.
That's my shit.
This nigga guilty pleasure out.
That shit terrible.
That's the guilty pleasure for life. We can throw out Blueprint 3. Let's throw out
that shit the fuck out of there.
We can throw away Blueprint 3. That'll make y'all happy.
Oh, we can throw away Kingdom Come too.
Yeah, we can do that.
We can toss.
Absolutely.
We can frisbee that shit.
We can toss it. Look at it.
Magna Carta Holy Grail. We can get rid of that bitch too.
We can get some gems out of that first before we can plug. We can plug out of that.
No, we gotta keep that.
You gonna throw it?
We gotta keep that one. We gotta keep that one, baby.
I know.
Ooh, tell me that was the second one. Second one.
All right, y'all. We gonna throw away both. Oh shit. Yeah, Creed, please tell us what you said in your tweet and everything. But yeah, for all we know, man, Cap might not be trusting of the NFL, might not want to be involved with it. Unplugged. Unplugged was pretty good.
That's my shit.
Yeah. We trying to help y'all cancel some of Jay-Z. We ain't gonna cancel all of Jay-Z.
Yeah, just a couple hours.
For all we know, he might not have thought it was a good move. It's just that's what Jamel Hill is my girl, bro. I just didn't like the article she did, man. Like,
what did she say?
She's basically saying like he basically put Cap under the threw him under the bus to get what he wanted out of this whole situation.
Well, the NFL wasn't gonna give it to Cap. They wasn't giving that nigga shit.
It's like, how are we gonna do this, man? Like, because I'm like a lot of people, man. We got to do a lot more than just not. Which niggas swear they boycott the NFL. Only niggas boycott the NFL for the most part are people who never really watch football to begin with.
Yeah.
So niggas talking about boycotting, but you can do a lot more than that. Is actual work in the community or getting in the door like this. So.
Your third eye isn't open enough to see the Jay-Z other shit. Okay.
This is crusty.
You're just not woke enough.
It's got pink eye right now. So, which I know you want to discuss, like how people demonize.
Yeah, man.
People like Jay-Z.
So, this came up because of the Nicki shit. First off.
Explain, go through it real quick for those people who missed it.
The Nicki shit?
Yeah.
Bro, this nigga Joe got clapped, bro. So, for whatever reason, Joe Budden went on Queen. Joe Budden and Rory and Mal went on Queen Radio. Those are the three hosts of Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Nicki told him about his damn self. And I think everybody know how Joe Budden is. He's super judgmental.
Super.
Don't give a fuck how you feel about it. Yeah, like. And she gave this nigga all the business. And nigga got kicked off the show.
Well, first he had his mic muted while he was on the show, and she just got in on him.
Oh, I don't know if people can hear it, but that shit 40. I ain't
No, it's
that's some reaction.
It's if you scroll down, it's like the part where she went in on Rory. Because I do have my qualms about how Nicki handled it.
Yeah, oh yeah, she didn't handle it in the best way, and she also threw some unnecessary shots at. I'm not gonna say unnecessary shots, but she like was reaching at some points.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I looking at?
Keep going down. It's like actually, if you type in Nicki Minaj's broomstick, this is part where
that thing was so funny.
She's talking about. This is the part where I feel like she wasn't really listening. Like, so to give y'all a synopsis, like Will said, they went on Queen Radio. She wanted to call out Joe Budden for because Joe's been talking shit about her and being on drugs or being crazy or whatever.
Believing the stuff that is printed about her or about her.
So she confronted him on it all the way, and then she went on their podcast, I guess, to try it again. And I mean, it went better, I guess you could say. I didn't watch the whole 2 hours.
It was much smoother. It was much smoother on their podcast. I think the first 30 minutes was them talking shit.
Yeah.
And then after that, it mellowed the hell out in terms of real artist interview.
Right.
Can we play this?
Yeah, but in this part,
oh, come on now. Harrison Gray.
You block origin.
We love American food.
Okay.
Bro, get your ad blocker
Doesn't need a fancy cookbook.
There's an ad block for you too?
And people like DJ Envy, who was sending text messages today, but who was one of the people who I thought was my friend, who was up there
DJ
trying
Envy
to.
has never said a bad word about a soul in his life. I just want to tell you.
You're not serious, are you?
Well, I've never heard it. And you know.
I thought he was one of my friends.
And he's from Queens.
He was. I always thought he was one of my friends, and then all of a sudden, it was just a lot of things, and I couldn't do it. Like that was the one thing that I was just short, and I was just like, whoa.
Animated.
I'm not getting into it.
Okay.
Because my point.
They have a different version of this story, by the way.
Listen.
And I'm not getting into all
Or
that.
should
Yeah.
a little bit further down.
Well, when you're insecure, you tell lies. You tell lies because you don't want others to shine based on their talent sometimes. So I am going to tell you
Back to you talking about people on social media and how easily they're swayed with
Take your ass
opinions
quiet.
that we can put out there. Back to the Nicki hate train. No, I don't think you started that, but I think addressing it adds to it.
And then when I don't address it, then you don't believe in lies about me?
I'm not saying
You
it's
sound
fair.
crazy.
Let me
You see how
finish.
that works?
You can't control what everybody
Sweetheart, I
thinks.
know, but
Explain
no,
something.
but
I'm not
you can
saying
say
it's
that
right
when
or
it's
wrong.
not you. If I go outside, what's your name?
Rory.
If I go outside in the street every single day and say, hey, just now I just saw Rory sticking a broom up someone's ass.
He does
Hold
that.
on,
Yeah.
hold
That was his
on.
initiation.
Listen to me. If every day I go outside and say I just saw Rory in the cafeteria sticking a broom up someone's ass, and then I go on Queen Radio. And then I go on Queen Radio where there's millions of listeners, and I said, yo, you know that dude Rory, right? Why I just see him stick a broom up a nigga ass in the cafeteria?
By the way, he's a
Wait,
white.
hold on.
She has a point though. the more people say something, especially people who have a platform,
Right.
like these niggas, like it starts to proliferate
Yeah.
and it starts to gain traction.
Absolutely.
And people start believing this shit without doing real fact checks or whatever.
I agree 1,000%. I felt like what I thought Roy was trying to say was as far as like the regular like commenters, like regular people on the internet talking shit about you. When you respond to them constantly, like you kind of feed into it. It's kind of like what we say about Amanda Seals, how like niggas be DMing her like bullshit.
Oh yeah, and that's the shit she'll repost.
Yeah, that's seeing none of my DMs. I didn't hit you thus far, Amanda.
Calling you queen,
calling you goddess and everything.
saying you're doing a great job.
You know what I'm saying?
You're so funny, but she's unfortunately she's on an episode where we reviewed the show and she was like,
oh, that's what it is.
She saw the episode review the
That's what
comedy
explains
special.
everything.
She's oh fuck these niggas.
I don't regret
These niggas ain't
anything.
getting no shine.
I don't regret anything. Leave every word we said on that review. I think that's what he was talking about. That's what I assume.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. Like otherwise, she's absolutely right. But I don't think she was listening, man. I don't think she was like trying to hear nobody but herself.
She was like, I'm gonna get my shit off. This motherfucker looks wild, right? This motherfucker matching from head to toe, cuz.
with the hair, like.
This shit too much.
But what do you think overall about her? Like how she feels about being bullied? Do you think that Nikki's been bullied? Because she said like at one point she's been bullied since she's been in the game for like over a decade now.
The thing about her saying that is that her bullies is the internet, or it's not really fair to say that certain people like Joe or Charlemagne or whatever are bullying her, especially Charlemagne, because I don't think Charlemagne really talks shit about her, except for like her music if he doesn't like it.
Which he does to everybody.
Which he does to everybody, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But like I would say like bullying is like spreading rumors or some shit.
Right.
I don't think many people spread rumors about Nicki. It's just they get their information from sources that are at odds with Nicki.
Like what about people like Joe, who she said is spreading rumors about her?
But even Joe said he'll get information from somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, so in that case, you deserve to be screaming on. If you're irresponsible with your resources, and you just saying shit like, "Oh, Nicki's on drugs," okay, we're gonna say it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Even though I'm Joe Budden and I got one of the most popular podcasts out here.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you deserve to get screamed on. Like,
but yeah, man, people not necessarily just this interview, but you know, Joe kind of does demonize certain people. Like when he was back with the Yachty shit, where he was basically calling Yachty stupid.
oh yeah, that's
low key calling Yachty stupid.
that was that old nigga. Like, I don't realize this music ain't for me. This shit is way past my time. I just need to stay in my lane. Is what I thought that was.
And you know, stuff he does, and like what Nicki said, do media people who talk about people in a commentary type of way realize that these are people? Like, do they treat them as people? And should they? Should they take that? Does being a celebrity, like, do you have to relinquish the possibly, you know, like that sense of like taking shit personally? You know what I mean?
I think.
Like, do you give up that right to get offended?
Oh no. That's what you're saying. I thought you were saying.
Well, no, like how they, not necessarily that. I'm sorry, I got off point a little bit. But how they can create these bad personas about celebrities based off just their words and things they've observed. Like, yeah, like how they demonize people. Like Antonio Brown's selfish, or he's not a team player, or who else was it? I had some other examples. You know, about how Jay-Z's don't care about the community or this, that, and the third. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you think media has the right to do that just because they are paid to commentate on certain things?
I don't. The media has the right to speculate. They should be held to the standard of being responsible with their speculation.
Okay.
But I think as a celebrity, you got to expect them not to. But at the same time, I don't think it's wrong that you get offended and that you defend yourself as a result. So I don't think you relinquish the right to be respected. And I count all that as respect. I count like people just spreading rumors about you as disrespectful. People just hearing somebody else say some shit and just running with it and printing it.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda Seals had a perfect example of that when they twisted her words all over that whole the doctor situation. Tried to say that, but they tried to say that she claimed that he assaulted her. When she was just trying to say that he allegedly assaulted another woman that she knew, and they tried to mix her words that she said it was her, but then they put up this video that allegedly contradicted her. Like, and they just ran with it. She actually confronted the dude that printed that shit. So I think she had every right to do that because that was a whole lie, and she was literally getting death threats over that lie.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think should you just relinquish all that as a celebrity? No, like you still have a right to privacy. I believe that celebrities still have a right to privacy because people say that all the time. Once you're a celebrity, you give away your privacy now.
No, fuck
You
that.
can't. Yeah, people say that shit all the time. Or like you out in public eating and people can just come up to you and take pictures.
Do celebrities have like a right to not just defend themselves, but like aggressively defend themselves? Like,
Yeah, if you need to, I think so. Because that's the whole thing.
see, that's the shit that turns into like a downward spiral.
Right.
Like it's like, oh, somebody's this, that, and that kind of way, and then the person like claps back hard.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like KD be doing to like these sports dudes, where KD be clapping back. He be, I think it was like something about Chris Broussard or something like that.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I never talked to Chris Broussard outside of basketball. He doesn't have my number. This and the third, bro. It was, I can't remember. It was some shit he went in on, bro. And you know what I mean? Like, is do they have that right as well, or because I feel like that shit just turns into downward spiral where they can like just demonize you even more.
I think you got to get what do you call that person that helps you deal with
PR?
the public? Yeah, PR person.
Yeah.
To help you train you to prepare. I think you have every right to defend yourself, but by any means necessary. But you got to have that PR person to teach you that balance, because, like you said, as soon as somebody see like William Patterson of Cultivated Ignorance swings on the nigga at Olive Garden, like that headline, you know what I'm saying? Swings on a woman at the headline, you know what I'm saying? Some
Like
shit
hitting
like that.
women?
You hit a woman because she came up to you. They don't read this part, but she came up to you, touching on you and shit, and just let me get your picture. And you said no.
So it was a Kevin Gates
It
situation.
was a camera. It's not funny.
So you basically saying Kevin Gates was in the right.
I was not saying camera.
I don't
At
know.
all.
I don't know. That's what you're alluding to.
That's not balance. Where you don't kick people in the face.
I don't know, man. That's kind of what it sounds like.
Don't twist me into your position, bro. You got that just on this podcast. I mean, I would say you got to defend yourself to any means necessary, but you got to learn that balance because people are going to be stupid and talk about you crazy and just spread rumors and lies about you. If you're not prepared for that, then I would say if you're not prepared for that, then you don't need to be a celebrity. But
do people necessarily sign up for a celebrity?
I think a lot of people do. A lot of people these days don't. But a lot of people do. People pursue being a music artist.
Yeah, but maybe that's just because you like music. Like, is being good at music and being a celebrity like?
Not synonymous.
Do they? Yeah, like.
No, it's not. I'm just saying there's people who when they start rapping, they picture themselves being the next Kendrick Lamar.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It's some people who just blow up, who just catch fire out of nowhere.
I would say that's like a Vince Staples. I don't think that nigga cares nothing about being famous.
I don't think he does either. I think he enjoys the perks of it, but
Yeah,
he ain't never. Yeah, I think he's absolutely right.
that shit could be gone tomorrow. He'd be like, all
He
right.
feel like that. He was about to quit rap for a minute, wasn't he? Because niggas was trying to tell him what to perform.
Yeah.
And it shows. He's like, I'll shut this whole shit down. So I think there's people like that, but people that do pursue it do have to prepare themselves. You have to live with that decision. And that doesn't equal like be ready to have your rights or be willing to have your rights violated. You should be ready because that shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But be willing to let it happen.
It's like, what about for like, as far as like with depression being such a big thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you talking about like being bullied or whatever.
And they just kind of disregarding it.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do I agree?
How
with?
do you feel about it? Like, do you think she has a point?
I haven't personally. I'm trying to read Creed's comment because she made a comment about
Is it like Darwin's? Because if it's like that one,
Absolutely not. It's much more sophisticated than that. I personally, I'm not a Nicki fan.
Mhm.
I like some of her songs sometimes, but I've not checked for her music.
She's
in a
had
very
some
long time.
joints.
Yeah, absolutely. But like lately, I just don't check her music at all. So lately, I haven't seen her being, scrutinized any more than the next celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to just disregard, what she's saying. I will say, like, I know that people were comparing her with Lil Wayne. I'm sure a lot of people were like, you just got in the industry because you probably got sucking dick or whatever, sucking Lil Wayne's dick,
Mm-hmm.
probably fucking Drake or whatever. I'm pretty sure people were saying shit like that. I haven't personally seen her be that much bullied different from anybody else, but have you think?
Well, that's all about perspective, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Like from her perspective, she is being bullied.
But at the same time, it's like, how does that person define bullying? Because there's some, not saying Nicki is this person, but there's some.
If you're being lied on, I would. If you're being lied on, and people keep claiming that you. People are telling untruths about you,
Mhm.
and it's constant, and you can't escape it. I feel like that's bullying. Is that not?
No, that's true, but so that would be applied to every celebrity ever, right?
It could be, yeah. But it's all about how the individual person perceives it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just because I push you one time, somebody could say that's bullying. But it really matters how you feel about it, right?
I agree with that.
Well, I can push you every time I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And, God man over here could say it's bullying, but it's all about,
So what do you do when it comes to like entitled people who've had what they wanted their entire lives, and the one time they don't get what they want, they call themselves being bullied?
I don't think like one time is a thing, right? I don't think one time is.
Well, I mean, not figuratively speaking, like the couple times they don't get what they want, it's not that the people are like discriminate against them. They just don't give you what you want. That person thinks they're being bullied. What do you do in situations like that?
I would feel like, okay, so how are we defining bullying? Because I feel like bullying is a specific action,
right,
targeting you that is intended to make you feel bad, or not necessarily intended to make you feel bad. I guess that maybe that is the disconnect. That isn't necessarily intended to make you feel bad, or it's people just speaking facts, or what they believe is true.
And then the people doing the necessary research to determine if that's actually true.
Well, okay, Mike, it's 2019. We know people not doing research.
Well, that's a little.
We know people not doing research out here.
Let me read these comment real quick before I forget. So Chris said, Nicki annoys me, but she has been one of the most hated women since she became big. Even before she started showing her pretty side. Women handle shit differently when they've been the target for so long. I do agree with this because I was actually talking to Star about this. I can't imagine what she has gone through as a celebrity, becoming as big as she's become. The intense scrutiny, I'm sure she's endured all this time from every direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that would be enough to make you wild out on somebody. So, in a sense, I understand how she reacted to Rory, even though I don't think she was in the right.
That shit was so funny.
It was hilarious. She even had to laugh at the end of it. But like, I don't agree on how she handled it. But at the same time, I can understand if you've been in, niggas just been digging at you that long, especially when it comes to people that you trusted and thought was your friends. Like she says, what happened with Joe and DJ Envy and Charlamagne, even though they disagreed. I can understand where you would spaz out and shit. So. Darwin said true, but maybe it's more the reason to handle things differently, perhaps in a way that evolves people. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. It really boils down to perspective a lot of times.
Yeah.
You can't tell anybody how to feel.
Yeah, because somebody's saying she had a shitty album. If she thinks her album is fire, she can count that as bullying.
So that's a perfect example.
But I don't think that's what she necessarily meant. I think she might have been reaching and meant that, but I think she more so meant like people talking about her, about how she moves or how she does certain things or the barbs and shit like that. You know what I mean?
So, and then you get to the barbs, so she still has a very intensely loyal fan base, you know what I mean?
Super loyal.
You know what I'm saying? So, Cree said, where is the hate for 50 Cent? We like to laugh at him, but Nicki's
because 50 is the GOAT.
Bro, Creed, let me tell you firsthand.
That okay. 50 is a bully,
That nigga's the bulliest of bullies. Like I don't know what he.
but it
has
comes out
time.
in beautiful. It comes out in a beautiful fashion.
I can't even fuck with it. Like, to be honest with you, like,
Really?
bro, you have so much time to just be ugly. Like, this nigga putting way too much.
I think
effort.
I think he hired somebody for part of it. Like,
I think that's 50, bro. He always been like that. I think he's always been like that. He's
this nigga is the greatest at it, bro.
this nigga built his whole career off of bullying Ja Rule. Like,
Okay, no, in 50's defense, Ja Rule kind of brought it upon himself.
I'm not saying he didn't. I'm just saying like he did bully that nigga. We got to the point where it was like Ja wasn't even able to defend himself anymore. You know, so I think you have a point, Creed. It's just I guess it just depends on who you ask because there's a lot of people who don't fuck with 50 either. I just feel like 50 has way too much time in his hands to just fucking be petty.
Yeah, bro. I don't see how he does it.
I don't understand. This nigga got power and vitamin water. And nobody uses that to not watch the shows. I don't watch the shows, but yeah, you're right though. A lot of people still fuck with his shit or discredit his music significance. I would hope niggas still not listen to 50's music because it hasn't been good for one thing in a very long time.
I mean, I like some joint you put out in like 2016.
Oh, you enjoy that. Yeah, let us know what y'all think. I think Nikki has every right to feel how she feels. She, like I said, I don't know all the facts, so she very well could be bullied all this time. Real quick question, because we got like a couple minutes. So to your main point, what is the media's role in that? Like, should they be doing? Is it what do you say, good, bad, and different?
The media plays a negative role in demonizing people, just like if you were to receive bad service at any restaurant, I think they very often only speak on the negative. You know.
Right.
I don't necessarily know if the media holds a responsibility to then anything but speaking on facts and speculation. Like if they find out something is wrong, I think the media has deserved or holds the responsibility to retract something or back something off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If they are actually wrong. But to say that they can't speculate is just unfair to, I guess, the culture we're in. Everybody expects some sort of speculation.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But I think oftentimes the media is just they put themselves in a spot where they're always right. Because they make the narrative, you know what I mean?
Right.
And what sells is people being pieces of shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I think the media I think the media is doing bad for celebrities as individuals. You know what I mean?
And what do you think about this? Cree said media loves drama, which you can both agree with that.
Yep.
She said that the media loves to paint black women in a certain way in entertainment as well. I don't know if she's speaking on reality shows and stuff.
You know what? Okay, so to her point, if we're talking about black women, are we talking about black women or women of color?
She said black women, so I'm gonna say.
Because to her point, that whole Cardi B was drugging motherfuckers. That shit didn't get a whole lot of traction.
It didn't hurt her sales and shit.
Yeah, it didn't get a whole lot of traction. So she might have a real point. You know, Martha Stewart's still out here popping.
Martha did her time. She
did her time. And now she's back on the ground.
That shit never left the stores or nothing, though, did it?
No, bro. I remember it was like 2 weeks after that shit.
Yeah.
There was some Paula Deen butter after all that Paula Deen racist shit came out. Oh, they just bought a bitch. And the shit had a new label sign on it.
All right, Paul, we just gotta rebrand this shit. We good. You good though?
Yeah, man. So she might be right. I mean, I never even thought about that.
I think so. I think it's definitely so tricky. What's tricky about it is they definitely paint black women a certain way, and then when they have an exception, they paint the exception in a certain way. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like in hip hop, most black women that get on in hip hop is the ones that we talk about, shaking ass, whatever like that.
Mhm.
Even though we know that there's a ton of talented rappers out here that we still celebrate. The ones that are on the TV screen that usually the ones shaking ass, whatever. But when you have an exception like No Name, like they gonna put her in a certain, to the best of their ability, put her in a certain like box. You'd be like, oh, we also have No Name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it looks like a variety.
Mhm.
As long as it works according to their arrangement, it
Yeah.
works out. They're not out here just putting any black woman on just based on talent. I feel like, for the most part.
I mean, only person ever since the expansion of social media and the media coverage that surrounds sports, the only person I can think of that it really isn't inside of a box too much is Serena Williams in sports.
I think it's only because Serena's just got herself to the point where she can truly say what she wants to say.
And she's been around since like the 90s before
Right.
like social media. You know what I mean? So I don't know if she really qualifies, but that's the only person that's the only black woman I can't think is really inside of a box as far as social media, sports, and celebrities involved. I mean, concerned.
And when I say inside of a box, I mean like as far as keeping their mainstream relevance at an all-time high. I feel like there's a lot of black celebrities that do what they want or want to do what they want, and they do it in certain ways, but they have to maintain a certain cadence, I guess you could say.
Persona?
Yeah, persona might be a better word, to stay mainstream relevant the way they are now. Like,
Yeah, give me an example.
Like, I think, what if like, are we just still talking about black women, or are we talking about like black celebrities in general?
What are we talking about black celebrities? What up?
I don't see like Baby, somebody like the rapper, Lil
The
Baby. I don't really listen. That's your guy. But like Lil Baby, if Lil Baby changed his whole shit and was just like, "Yo, I'm trying to get back to like the Talib Kweli's like heyday,"
They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think the media would even try to arrange it so his audience would even accept that at all. Like, they would just be like, because when they want it to happen, it can happen. Like it's like you look at 21, his first like full like studio album, he had some like conscious joints in there, but it was like sandwiched between the whole trap and like shooting niggas shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think certain celebrities they can't really do that.
They have to do things to keep that image.
I think so. I think yes.
I guess, but like, I think that's true for everybody. I don't think that's true for everybody.
I think not for like somebody like Kendrick who
isn't on social media. Period.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like he's like he came out the gate like with a certain persona, and I think also his label Top Dog is very much for the artist first versus like I mean they want to succeed, but they've always allowed their artists to be themselves. I've never heard a Top Dog album was like this don't sound like this nigga at all.
Yeah.
This sounded like the label, like we said with like Big Crit or some shit. Like,
Oh yeah.
This shit don't sound like shit Crit want to do right now. You know what I mean? So I think people like them, they can do what they want, and the label will maneuver it to like be accepted by the audience. I feel like.
I guess. But I still feel like, well, I feel like your celebrity, your status grants you that right to be able to maneuver between lanes fluidly without,
That too, yeah.
without much resistance. So I don't feel like Drake exists in any kind of lane except whatever lane he wants to put himself in, which is like emo-ish fuckboy.
Only reason I kind of, because when I see Drake, man, you see Drake has always hopped on. I mean, he creates waves, but he's also always hopped on waves. Like you take the whole like dance hall like wave and shit. Like he hopped on that shit, and like adopted his whole persona.
Yeah, he hopped on that shit for like 8 songs.
I don't know, man. But they made him like $8 million. Like made him a lot of money.
Hey, nigga. I mean, hey, nigga. Sometimes you gotta culturally appropriate some shit. Sometimes you gotta steal some shit that's not yours and act like you West Indian.
Right. I've always felt the sense of like Drake just portraying something that he doesn't really.
That's not really him.
In his body, in his soul of souls, I don't really think is. I feel like they made Drake who he is. Like,
Yeah.
that's the hottest rapper in the game. Like, that took some like tweaking. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, because it wasn't that first album.
That's what I'm saying. So look at the first album. Look at Drake now. Like, look at the sound. Look at his like just his swag that he got about himself, the arrogance, the how does nigga feel? Like, I don't know how you even put it. The Drakeness, man. Like that all took. He got a whole team behind him, like creating this persona. You know what I mean?
I guess, man.
I'm not saying he's not enjoying himself. He's not being himself at all. I'm just saying, like, a lot of this stuff is for show. Like, Drake has to be on point at all times. Drake can't just come out the house looking any kind of way, unless that's how they want him to look in certain. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think Drake always got a stylist to pick out his clothes?
I think every single move that Drake makes that we see
calculated.
is calculated. That we see is calculated. Yes, absolutely. You gotta.
I would agree.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, as far as sonically, as far as like what he wants to do with his music or what he wants to do with himself, I don't think that's like really calculated as much.
I mean, I think he has I think he has a lot of creative input on what he's doing.
They got all the credit.
I feel like you listen to Care Package.
Bro, I love Care Package.
No, you don't.
I do.
No, you do not, bro. Get
I
off.
love that toxic shit.
We turn this shit.
That shit good. Them songs is good. Like,
This is the last episode of Cultivated Ignorance.
them songs is good. Like, fuck
No,
what you
they're not.
heard.
What are you talking about?
Bro, them songs is good. How about now? What the fuck?
Yeah, how about now? You got the timestamp joint. We already know.
Hey, why do we refer to them as a timestamp?
Because they are. Niggas know what we're talking about. Well, we know what we're talking
Well,
about.
let me get this track was out.
Well, that's,
So you school your ass.
don't let me.
Come on, phone with
I will cancel this shit right now. We got like 2 minutes. How about now? Jodeci Freestyle, the timestamp joints.
oh, man.
Throw the rest of that shit away in the garbage.
The motion? I like motion. I've always liked motion.
Throw that shit in the garbage.
I've always liked motion, so you can get the fuck out of here.
So you like that shit with Rick Ross? What was nigga
I did not.
telling a woman, no, this is your shit.
Oh, if you tell a woman feel bad about yourself, yeah, I love it.
Of course you do.
All right. Dreams money can buy is okay. Promotion, I like that joke. How about now?
Okay.
That shit hella toxic. That shit is problematic.
Did you see my story, my Instagram story? It describes the whole album.
Bro, I reposted it on the page.
That's right, that's what you did.
I like Draft Day.
Draft day, my bad. That's 5.
I like Days in the East a little bit.
No.
My side, you can keep that. I get along, you can keep that.
God, throw that shit in the garbage. God,
I like girls like Beyonce. Girls like Beyonce.
that's a somewhat guilty pleasure. I'm not gonna lie, that's it.
Okay, man, I like half the songs on this album. You need to be hating on Drake. You need to be loving it. See, look, man, what's gonna happen is you're gonna like this album more, just like you like what's this face more. Just like you like
You better not say take care. Don't be black.
no, if you read this too.
Oh,
Give about 3-4 years.
it's not. I promise you. I can promise you now.
Give about 3-4 years.
That shit had me like. I've only stopped listening to 2 albums this year.
You stop listening to that joint?
I finished it just to make sure.
He's like, it's Drake. It can't be this bad.
I said it's got to be more gems I can pluck out, put in the playlist. Even though I like some of the joints, I had to turn off Young Thug's album. That shit just got boring. It was knocking at first, and then just.
Yeah, it was hitting for me at first, and then it started to fade a little bit, and I gotta finish listening to it again.
Don't listen to that little brother. Get your life together.
Is it good?
That shit is amazing. It's not their best album, but it's a wonderful comeback album.
So it's not Minstrel Show.
No, but it's funny as fuck though.
It is.
It's still funny.
All right.
Niggas always be funny. Ain't nothing gonna be Mr. Show. Nip that in the bud. All right, man. We gotta wrap the show.
All right. So this week's Black Business of the Week is going to be.
You ain't time to take be fucking up.
We don't have one.
Yeah. What was the biggest fuck up of the show?
All right, but anyway, on to the thirst of the week. The thirst of the week has purchasable products. This week's thirst of the week is Rhapsody, female MC.
Okay. You got a new album coming out. I'm ready.
That's why she's the thirst of the week, huh?
This thing here.
She's signed to Rock Nation. The people who just made that partnership with the NFL.
So you cancel Jay, you got to cancel Rhapsody.
She's got an album coming out this Friday. It's called Eve. 3 times Grammy nominated. You can catch her on Instagram at Rhapsody, Twitter at Rhapsody, all that good shit. Rapsody. What's her first album? Lala's?
Layla's Wisdom.
Yeah, Layla's Wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Album was super fire.
That shit is amazing.
That shit was fire. This upcoming album she's got, which comes out Friday. She's got features. It's 16 tracks. Got features from L. Varner, R&B artist.
Okay.
D'Angelo,
Oh.
Jizza,
Oh,
Jid, Sir, J. Cole. She even got a feature from Queen Law.
it's just so classic.
Yeah. She was on the Breakfast Club a few days ago. It was either yesterday or the day before. Where she was talking about all this stuff. So definitely go check her out. She's probably the just straight bars best mainstream woman artist out there.
One of the top artists, period. Like, I couldn't believe how good that this thing here. We know you wrote up Drake, man.
I'm a Drake stan.
You are. I couldn't believe how good that first album was, man.
Yeah, that first album was amazing.
Not that I doubted her, but I just didn't expect it to just be that, top to bottom. That's very rare that you hit a top to bottom great hip hop album
Yeah,
these days that you don't have to skip shit on.
yeah. So I will definitely be doing that. She's actually, let me see. I think she's going on tour with Big Crit also.
Oh,
Yeah, so that would be super dope. If only they had a Columbia show.
y'all gonna start showing Columbia. I know we had this whole thing with Lil Wayne and them, but please come back to Columbia Life Arena, please.
I mean, at least the doggone what's his face?
Not the Coliseum.
No, not the Coliseum. The what's his face? What's the
Township.
Township? Yeah.
Seats. You grab that seat.
Bro, suck. But yeah, man, go check her out. She's stupid dope. You won't be disappointed. I know I'm not gonna be.
No,
If you just like bars and you like somebody that can just spit,
absolutely.
check out her album. It's called Eve, coming out Friday. It'll be on all platforms.
Excited.
Thank y'all for. Oh, that was weak. Thank y'all for joining another episode.
Get that extra ass in there.
Yeah. I've been coughing my ass off.
Dying the whole show. It's the last episode. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank y'all so much for tuning in.
Shit! No!
Stop talking that loud before the show. He's smoking that trash. Definitely we're gonna come back and look at more of the comments once we end the show. But thank y'all so much for tuning in as usual. Yeah. Tell us what y'all think about this whole Jay-Z thing. If y'all hate him, if y'all love him.
I still love Jay because I love Reasonable Doubt.
Because nothing
So he can do no wrong after that.
nothing can do. If Jay came out, it was like I actually voted for Trump and I support everything, each and everything he's done. His racist shit, his bigotry.
Bigotry. Jay-Z said, I'm personally funding the wall.
What if we did that? What if we built the wall, bro? What if we built the wall?
They're like, damn, boy, y'all Mexicans must really be bad, boy. You got Jay funding this shit, boy.
This is y'all host, man.
I'll be down there to put the first ceremonial brick down. I get my little concrete and
You
shit.
put a little slab on. Here you go, Mr. Carter. For free. He ain't even get that.
All the shit got a paper plane on top of it.
Terrible, man. Y'all please tune in next time if y'all still love us. We'll ruin the show for y'all.
I'll be back next time, not coughing so much.
Hopefully. See y'all, man. Love y'all. We'll hate you.
You know, I don't love you too.
It's just gonna take a while to end because our internet is slow here. What the fuck was that? But, you know.
No, we're still recording.